Hi everyone, in this video I'll show you how this top was made from scratch, step by step. You can achieve this style with 2 yards to 2.5 yards of Ankara fabric depending on your size. I'll take you through the process from cutting, from drafting, then cutting and stitching. All you need to do is just stay with me from the beginning to the end of this video so you will not miss any parts. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're a subscriber, if you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe and turn on your post notification so you can get notified whenever we upload a new video. Here is what the sleeve looks like. So let's get right into the video. Now, I have my pattern paper here and I've marked my starting line. I'll mark the bust point, which is 10.5 inches, the under bust 14 inches, the waist 17.5 inches, and the hemline, which is 26 inches. I'll connect the lines just as you can see. I'll mark 1 inch for my zipper allowance at the front, just as you can see that we have a zipper at the front. I'll connect the lines just like this, and after doing that now I'll indicate my lines like so. So here we have the M line. Now I'll come to the shoulder line here. I'll start marking from here. The shoulder is 7.5 inches. I'll mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll connect the lines to the neck line like so. Then I'll come down by 8 inches for my armhole line. I'll connect the line like this. Then the next thing I'll do now is to mark my nipple to nipple points of 4 inches. The nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4. I'll mark it from the bust point to the hem line, which is also the hip line. After marking that, I'm going to come to the under bust line and I'll mark 1.5 inches on this side that has the armhole and ½ inch on the midpoint side, on the middle part side. I'll connect all the way to the hemline like this, just as you can see me doing. And the next thing I'll do is to come down from here by 3/4 inch. Then I'll come to the armhole line here and divide what I have there by 2. I'll get the midpoint and I'll come out here by ½ inch. I'll connect the lines like this. Then I'll mark my bust measurements. Round bust is 40 inches. I'll divide by 2. I have 10 inches there. Then I'll connect to my armhole just like this. That being done, then I'm going to connect the curve like this with my curvy part of the ruler, and I'll do the same to this side as well, connecting to the 3/4 inch that we came down by. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to come from this line here, this one in the front. I'll make a curve to the 3/4 inch that we came down by from this part here. I hope you understand. So I'll just connect it like this with the curvy part of my ruler. Then the next thing I'll do is to come down by 2 inches, 2 inches here. Then I'll come up by 3/4 inch, or you can come up by ½ inch as well. Then I'll connect it to the new line that I've just marked. Then I'll connect it just like this. I hope you understand. Then I will extend it like that. Now the next thing I'll do is to mark from this point. I'll mark the 2 inches to extend it like so, and I'll use the curvy part of my ruler again, not the straight part, to continue the line like that. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to extend the chest line. The chest line, the armhole line, I'm going to extend it, which is our chest line. I'm going to extend it so I can get the darts, the value of the dart that we have around there. I extended it with my pencil, and here I have 1/4 inch. So I'm going to extend it. I'm going to mark it here on the bust measurements. Then I will connect the lines like this. So you can take your tape actually and measure from here. Just measure what you have there up until the ½ inch that we came down by, or 3/4 inch. I have 6 inches there. Then I'm going to measure it. I just want to make sure that I have the same 6 inches on both lines. I hope you understand. So measure like this. So wherever it gets to, that is where you're going to mark your, I hope you can see like this. So I'll reshape this part here, then I'm going to cancel the former lines. I hope you understand. So that means it's going to be, perfect like that. So I'll mark my waist round and add 2 inches for the dart. I'll mark my hip round 2 divided by 4 and mark 2 inches for the dart allowance. So now I'm just going to connect just like this. I'll connect just like this, and I'll connect it to the hip area as well. So you can actually decide to shape this side anyhow you want. So you can decide to extend your hip line if you want. I hope you understand. So I'll come down here now by 1 inch to shape it. This is also what I want. You can decide to go up by 2 or 3 inches if you wish. I'll come out here by 3 inches from this dart line, 3 inches here. Then I'm just going to connect it just like this. Now after doing that, now I'm going to mark my, I'm going to use to hold in my bust dart. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inch for the bust dart, and I'll connect it just like this. I'll cancel it like that so I can know where I am cutting out. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to come here and I'm going to extend the line just like this. Then I'll come here to the neckline here. I'll come down by 3 inches. You can decide to come down by 3.5, but I made use of 3 inches here. Then the normal neck depth that I used is 7 inches. So I'll mark 3 inches like this. I'll connect it first like this. Then I'll make a little round shape here. From this part here, I'll come in by 1 inch, as you can see. Then I'll connect from that 1 inch to the 7 inch that I have there with a curve just like this. I hope you understand. So you can see it's not straight, it's a little bit curvy. Now the next thing I'll do is to come down to the hemline, and I'll come up by 3 inches and mark it there. Then I'll come sideways, I'll come inward by 1 inch like so, and I'll connect the lines with a curve, just a little curve just like this. I hope you can see. Then after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to open up, just extend this part here. That is where we're going to be cutting our zipper allowance. Then I'm going to extend this part here again, just as you can see me doing. Then I'm going to open up the dart so I can close the bust dart. Be careful the way you cut it out so you will not cut it out entirely. Now I'm just going to place it like this, and I'm going to use my sellotape to tape it down. So I'm done taping that, and I'm going to reconnect this line like this. I hope you can see. Then I'm going to cut out the unnecessary part that we do not need. I hope you can see the way I'm cutting it out. Just cut it out just like this. Just cut it out just like this. If you have watched up till this part, kindly give my video a thumbs up. It means a whole lot to me, so you can encourage me to make more videos. Thank you as you do. Then I'm going to cut this part like this. I hope you can see the way I'm cutting it. Do not make any mistake, please. Then I will indicate here that this is my zipper allowance. I hope you can see. Now we are done, and I'm going to be cutting this part here out just like so. Then so you can see what I was saying the other time. So just match this place like this and make sure that they are matching. Then you can just just put it through like so, so you will see that they are matching perfectly. Now after doing that, we are done with the front parts, and we are going to move to cutting the back parts. Now I have my pattern here. I already marked my little. So now what I'm going to do, the first thing I did was to just mark 3 inches for the neck width. Then the shoulder is still 7.5, the same way it is in the front. So we have the chest line of 9 inches, the waistline of 16 inches because we've minused 1.5. I'll come with the front part so I can measure what we have from the waistline to the hem line. I hope you understand. So here we have 8.5, and I'm going to mark the same 8.5 from the 16 inches to the hem line. I hope you understand. Please take note of that. So now I'll come to the midpoint here, which is 4 inches, and I'm going to mark my bust round 10 inches here. Then I'm going to connect from the midpoint to the bust round measurement that we have here. I hope you understand up to this point. Now after doing that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the nipple to nipple point of 4 inches, just the same way we did in the front parts. I'm going to connect it from the chest line to the hem line of the back. I hope you understand. So I'm going to, on my waistline, I'll come in by ½ inch on both sides, just like this. I'll also mark it on the hemline. So if you do not want to mark it like this, you can actually just do the normal dart on the normal bodies, you understand? So it's okay. So I came down by 1 inch here from the chest line. Then I'll just connect it just like this. I hope you understand. So you can just do your normal hip. You come up by 2 inches from the hip line and connect your darts. I hope you understand. So I'll mark the waistline measurement, which is 8.5. I'll mark the 1 inch. I'll come to the hip line, and mark my 11 inches. Then I'll add the 1 inch here, as you can see. I hope you understand. Then I'm going to connect it just like this. Just connect it like this. Then I'll come up by 1 inch that we came up by in the front part. So I'll mark it like so, 3 inches from the dart mark, and I'll connect just like so. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to come to the neckline here, and I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect the lines just as you can see me doing like this. You can make use of your curved ruler. If you have a curved ruler, please just make use of it and get the perfect neckline. So I'm just going to come down here 3 inches from the slopey area there, from the shoulder slope. Then I'll connect it to the 1 inch here like this. Just ensure that you blend this part here so it does not have a sharp edge. Blend it properly so it does not have a sharp edge. I hope you understand. Just blend it properly. So after doing that, now the next thing we are going to do is to cut it out, and that is all for the back pattern. So I'm going to cut it out now just like this. Cut out the neckline, and you can see it's actually very simple to cut. So I'm going to cut this part here also like this. Then I'm done with the back pattern too. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut it out, both the front and the back pattern, on the fabric, and also cut it out on our lining pieces, and I'll show you now. So here I have it cut out on the fabric, and I've already stayed all my fabric pieces. So here we have it, and you can see the shape of our princess dart bustier just like this. This here is the side front, as you can see, and I've added ½ inch from here, ½ inch here, and I have 1½ inch on the side here because I'm going to be using 1 inch for sewing allowance and ½ inch to turn the line, and I have 1 inch at the down parts. So I have my lining pieces cut out already, and I'm going to be reducing the lining pieces by 1 inch. So here is my middle front, and you can see I have it here. So I have ½ inch added to the zipper allowance because I'm going to use it to turn the lining piece. I hope you understand. So I have half inch all around and 1 inch at the down part. I am going to reduce the lining piece as well by 1 inch. Here is the middle back and it's on fold, as you can see. I have ½ inch all around and I have 1 inch at the down parts. Here is the side back and I have ½ inch all around and I have 1½ inch at the side because I'm going to be turning the lining with ½ inch and I have 1 inch at the down parts. I hope you understand and it's not confusing. So you can see I've already iron stay on the fabric pieces. So here I have our front parts and I'm just going to place it just like this. As you can see me doing, I've already added my wording. The video was not recording when I was adding the wording. I'm so sorry I didn't show you that part. So you can see how nice it's looking, and I'll just bring the one side of the front part, middle front part, and the side front, and I'm just going to place it like this, and I'll just join it together just like this. I hope you can see. Just join it together like this, pin it together like this, and I'm going to just sew all the way up. And once you're sewing and you see that you have a little like it's getting difficult for you to sew, just notch. I hope you understand, because it's a princess that Bustier, so you just have to notch and continue sewing and you're going to get a perfect fit. I hope you understand. Now I'm going to repeat the same process for the other side, and here we have the lining piece, and I'm going to just do the same thing here on the lining piece and the second one of the other side. I hope you understand. So here is the back, middle back, and I'll repeat the same thing. Just join it together like this, pin it down and continue sewing from the down to the top, and I'll bring the second side like this, and I'm just going to continue joining like this. Then I'll repeat the same process for the back. Here just merge it together like this and pin it down, then you put the second part. And so here I have the back, the lining piece of the back and the fabric. So I will join it at the down part first. Do not turn the neckline, please. So join at the down part first, run an ½ stitch on the down part, then merge it together at the armhole area here and stitch all the way up. Then you repeat the same thing here, merge it together at the armhole and stitch all the way up. Do not turn the neckline. We are going to be top stitching the neckline together. So here is the front part. So at this point, if you want to add your zipper, you can just add your zipper here first before turning with lining, if you know how to do that. I hope you understand. So just add your zipper here first. Now I'm going to just put my lining here, and I'm just going to stitch here with ½ inch. After stitching here with ½ inch, I'm going to have something like this, and I'm going to stitch this way and this way, then also stitch all the way up here, and I'll also stitch here and here. I hope you understand. You're going to stitch the zipper allowance here first, then stitch on the curvy part we have here, and you're going to stop here. You are stopping here. Do not turn the neckline, please. Do not turn the neckline here at all. We are going to be running a stitch. After turning it out to the right side, then we are going to be top stitching on the neckline. I hope you understand. So you're going to turn the other side here as well. Now after doing that, now I'm done doing that, and this is what I have, and you can see the back piece looking all nice. It is already turned together. Then I've already top stitched on the neckline, as you can see. Now I'll bring the front part, and you can see what we have as well. I've turned it and just turn it and iron it, and you can see I've ironed the zipper allowance out. So after doing this, now what I'm going to do is, you can see our cup standing and looking all nice. I actually made use of a soft wording. I didn't use a hard wording. a very soft one. That is what I used, and it's standing there because of the way we cut the cup out. That is why it's standing. So you can fix your zipper allowance like this. You can see, just put it down like this and fix it like this. This is what you're going to have by the time you are done. I hope you understand. So just fix it like this. If you did not want to fix it the other way I was talking, so if you want a very neat finishing, just fix it on the Ankara fabric first, you understand, before turning it with the lining. So it's going to be very neat like that on the inside. So just cut it here, then after cutting, then you can just turn it inward like this and finish your zipper allowance part just like this. And then you're going to stitch on this part here to stitch it down. Then you repeat the same process for this other side as well. I hope you understand and you can do that. If you do not know how to fix a zipper, just let me know so that I can make a video on that. So here is what I have after I'm done. It's looking all neat and nice, and you can see. So just let me know if you do not know how to fix a zipper. Let me know if you want me to make a video on that. Here is what it looks like on the inside, and you can see. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to place the back here and I'll place the front on it like this, and I'm just going to stitch the shoulder together. Pin the shoulder together. Do not turn the shoulder, just stitch it with 1/2 inch like that. I hope you understand. So I'm going to come to the side here. I'm going to pin it down. I'm going to pin it down. Just like this, and I'll measure the bust. So I'll measure it, and whatever allowance I have there, I'm just going to mark it. So I have 10 inches, I have 11 inches there, then I've marked my 10 inches. Here I have 9¼ inch, then I mark my 8.5 like so. I'll mark from the midpoint here of the back. I'll mark my 11 inches and I'm going to leave it like this. So I'll shape it like this, and I'm just going to stitch on the line that I'm marking now. I'll stitch on the line that I'm marking now, just can see, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side here. So that's how to fit it. So you have to make sure that you are fitting it with your right measurements. So from this part here, I'm going to fold it like this, the neckline like so, and I'm going to notch the midpoint of the back neckline so I can get the midpoint of the whole neckline. I hope you understand. Then I'm going to start measuring like that. So the back neckline gives me 3½ inches. Then I measure the front neckline as well, and I have 3½ inches as well. So in total we have 7 inches, which is 14 inches all round. I hope you understand. Measure from the middle of the back. There I have 3½, and here I also have 3½. Then we are going to be cutting the neckline on the pattern first. Now I have my starting line here, this is going to be the back, and here I have the front. So I'm going to mark here now the 7 inches in total. Then I'll mark 3½ inches here. I'm going to come up by 3/4 inch from this line. I'm going to mark it, you understand, I'm just going to curve it like this from the midpoint to meet this other 3½ like this. Then from this line here, I'll come up by 1/4 inch, which is going to be the height of the collar that I'm making use of. From here, I'll also come up by the same 1¼ inch like this, and I'm going to get a line here in the midpoint here. I'm going to mark this line here just like this. Then I'm going to connect the same way I've connected it at the down part. I'll mark my 1¼ inch, which is the height of the collar. So I'm just going to connect it with a curvy part on this part, and I'm going to connect it with a straight line on this part, just the same way it is at the down part. I hope you understand. I'm going to blend this part here. Then that is just how to cut the bishop collar. and I'm going to come here by 1/2 inch. I'll mark 1/2 inch here just to curve this area, so it will not just look just simple here. I'll just curve it to give it a shape, a collar shape around here. I marked 1/2 inch. Now we are done with the collar and I'm going to be cutting it out. I hope you can see the way I'm cutting it out. And this is the pattern we are going to be using to cut out the collar. So you can see what I have. So I'm going to be cutting it out on the fabric. I'm going to cut it out on a stay first, on a hard stay, then I'll cut it on a fabric. I hope you understand. So this is what we have, and here is going to be on fold. So I noticed that this video is getting too long already, so I decided to stop here, and I'm going to continue in my next video, and I'll drop the concluding parts in the next 2 days. Thank you so much for watching up till this point. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Turn on your post notifications so you can get notified whenever we upload a new video. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you. Bye.